All right, ladies and gents, welcome. We have round 2 action, and we have a fan favorite over here in the blue. We've got Margougou. Margougou, if you were to make a list of the next generation of Age of Empires, Margougou may be on that list. And Margougou is someone who's cast with me recently. I'd love to cast with him again. He's a great personality, and he's a great guy. And I had the pleasure of meeting him in person twice. And last time I saw him was at the NAC LAN, and Margougou was so motivated for Hidden Cup. He so badly wants to be in that main event. He was already saying, T90, what would, if I make, he would actually say when, with a big smile on his face, when I make Hidden Cup, what are you going to look for to see me? And then Doubt from the other side of the table was like, you have to get past Ozone first, because Ozone beat him in the NAC qualifier. But anyways, sorry, I'm rambling a little bit here. The point is, Margougou, he wants to be there. He's been training like crazy, and I'm excited for the guy. And I think that the biggest thing for him is his own head, right? That's the same with like so many different players. Speak of the devil, Heart's in my chat. Perfect example. Bet you didn't think I was going to call you out there, Heart. But still, I think you got to get past, possibly getting a little frustrated with yourself at times. Not you, Heart, everyone. Occasionally get past, some tilting things that can happen in a game. And then talents are going to be able to bring a really large, high level to the game. And I think Margougou is getting to that point of his career. So, we'll see. Now, Whocl on the other side of things, he's gone through a different period over the past year. He has been slowly getting better, but he hasn't reached the heights of Margougou. He hasn't been in my hourly rambles about stories, but he's a really solid player, and he's been around for a long time. Again, has been increasingly getting better. I think the tough thing for him will be how does he perform on some of these maps, which are not Arabia. Because I found it very interesting with the draft. See, most of these players these days, when they play ranked, they're banning all the closed maps, right? And Margougou is included in that. Margougou will play Arabia 10 hours a day, no problem. Margougou banned Arabia, and I think he banned Arabia because he has more tournament experience, and he is basically telling Whocl, show me what you've got on other maps. And honestly, I think that has been a weakness for Whocl, having played against him, having seen different things. I think that is going to be an area that he could improve. But, I mean, he is the underdog. He's made $150 to get here. This is a big opportunity, and we'll see what he does here on Cross. So, the big thing on Cross is scouting. And I'm very passionate about this map. And you have to know where your opponent's located, but you also have to know how they're opening. And then also, did they dock? Whocl has already seen his opponent's dock. Now, the Byzantines are the civ that would want to have that scouting on where the opponent's pond is the most. And Margougou at least knows now where Whocl is. Byzantine fires are insane. So if you can get a dock up here, it could be really problematic for Whocl. Both maps have their strengths and weaknesses. It feels like it's a bad day to be a forager with the berries so far on the front. Map is meant to be open. It's meant to be aggressive. And the Malians are a bit better at aggression early just because of all their wood savings. But it's like on any map these days. It's not water maps. It's not closed maps. It's not open maps. It's like pretty much any map. Like if the Byzantines are alive in the middle of the game, around Castle Age, if they're not out of it, it will slowly get stronger and stronger and stronger. And that's kind of the feeling here again. All right, do me a favor, Americans. I know it's a joke, but because we don't need any more reason for people to make us look like fools on the internet, and believe me, there are times we deserve it. Can you not say this is a Texas flag? I mean, there's going to be someone who's like, but it is. But it does look very similar to the Texas flag. But I'm just saying, we don't want our Chileans here to be upset with us. All right? I guess it could be both. Maybe Chile and Texas have an agreement. Do we have any Chileans in chat who can say, we'll allow it? We'll see. By the way, people who are excited for French talents, Baba Rum, I think he's very underrated. He'll be up against Nikov in an hour. We will obviously miss some of that series. But I will cast... If that series is still going, we will cast that then. That'll be the last round of round 2. Tarz's would know. Tarz says, Texas flag has a full blue band on the left, you guys. Okay, guy. You made Tarz's go for the you guys. I mean, come on. What are we doing here? Look at the paranoia from Whocl. Look at this paranoia. He is really scared that Margougou might be sending a Vil because this is so common. And he just has his scout here. Meanwhile, Margougou is actually over here. He's expanding to a dock. And Whocl, you don't often see someone take a risk so late. Typically, that villager's already on the move. But it's not only on the move, but it's on the move against Byzantines. And we'll see if Margougou expects this. Now, what players will want to do to find this is fish the shorefish. Or, in this case, he's fishing this fish intentionally to maybe see a side dock. Here comes the scout from Margougou. Things have been pretty quiet. And he sees his opponent is opening with a range. And he goes underneath the TC because TCs don't hit anything. And he kills the pig. Does almost lose the scout, though. Would have been a big deal to lose the scout. Margougou, little lamer there, but good move from him. This is war now at this point. And this fishing ship sees this dock. How long will it take Margougou to react? Now, I just want to point out the problem with seeing this, because we want to get excited. Like, wow, great scouting. The problem here is you're not on gold, right? So you can make the first fire galley, but you can't queue up the second. And Whocl is already queuing up his first. Margougou has not queued up his second. Margougou very focused on this. Margougou does not realize that right now. Margougou does have a ton of fishing eco, though. Like, he has really expanded. The problem, again, is he's fishing over here with 6 of them. And Margougou still hasn't realized he's going to lose this pond. I said, knowing Margougou very well, I said Whocl's chance today all relies on how this series begins, in my opinion. I think if he can win this first game and make Margougou shake a little bit, freak out, can give him some opportunities in future games. Margougou's playing very nice on land, very nice over here, good play, but Whocl is going to scout this. He's going to see there's a dock there. And he should be moving out now. I don't like how long he's taking, but I think he's like, my opponent doesn't realize yet. We want to kill all of his fish. Make sure that there's no question that he kills those fish. But this is huge for any cross game. I will see if Whocl moves out. Actually, Margougou canceled his fire here. He straight up canceled it. So he will lose these fishing ships, and he knows it. It's actually a weird thing to say, but I actually like the fact that since he sees there's 2 docks, he just recognizes he's going to lose the pond. So it's skirms in the middle for Margougou. He used that gold to get fletching, which is why he got that beautiful snipe there. It has only been kills from Margougou so far. I have big questions over Whocl's eco right now. Oh, I think he was looking for more fish. Let's hope he remembers, because he is microing in the middle of the map. He still hasn't killed Margougou's fish. He's waiting way too long. He's waiting way too long for this. All those fishing ships could be dead. Maybe some inexperience there. Finally moves in. Okay, so now he's going to kill the fish. But he is expecting, like, he's made a demo. He's making more fires. He was expecting a bit more. But his micro looks really good here, right? And his fishing ships are back. He's also going to eventually dock this side, so that'll be good. Do worry a little bit about the potential castle time because of the amount of eco that Margougou has on the right side, but you can use a market for eco, guys. Doubt has shown us that many times. And skirm battle, advantage Byzantines. KD's been great for Whocl. He does win this pond. And I guess Whocl could even fish here, so maybe Margougou will fight back. Someone says, at what elo do you stop using the go-to idle villager key? I don't think you ever stop using it. These guys won't stop using it. They're spamming it all the time. We have our cycle of things we have to do, and we are constantly spamming it. Market is up. There's variations of it, right? Like, you could do, like, select all idols, which is, like, slightly different, but you're always checking for idols, making sure every single thing is working. Well, I like how Whocl opened on water, right? I do have my concerns over some land elements. Margougou, I feel, has just controlled the game a lot better here. He's slowly going to whittle down these villagers. He's so much control. And this pond This has been the difference. He lost his fish elsewhere, Margougou, but he's got more over here. And so Whocl, he kind of missed that step in comparison. And now, you know, the market's up. I think Margougou's going to recognize he must be clicking up soon, so there might be some fear. But Rez collected 1,000 more for Margougou, who's done a great job ever since he got surprised. Also, guys, was it rude of me to make a heart joke earlier? I feel bad about it for some reason. He could take it. I shouldn't feel bad about it. Uh-oh, Scout's weak. Scout dies, and now Margougou's going to have a dock up here. Heart is undefeated so far in the qualifier. Heart won 3-0 yesterday. Heart will be in the third round. If he can't handle my jokes, he can't handle the third round. Okay, this actually is really bad. You don't look at a bunch of skirms and spears and think it's going to be a problem for your eco usually. Okay. Interesting. This is interesting. You have my attention here, Whocl and Margougou. No, there's just no way. Like, this still gets through. The eco's a wreck for Whocl. And Margougou's micro with these skirms is just so good. And I feel like the start was there. The opening was there. But the backup fishing eco wasn't there for Whocl. He never expanded his fish. And he just did not have an eco balance here to work with at all. He hasn't even clicked up. Like, this is rough, man. This is completely uncompetitive at this point. And the skirms and the spears are going to lead to a kill here. And it's going to lead to more kills. He got forging for Spearman. That one extra attack. It's going to be helpful. And, I mean, behind this, Margougou can compete for water. Margougou might even end up winning his pond back so we can fish here again. And yeah, the GG's just called. That was not a close game. Margougou wins. And so like we said, like some slight positives there for Whocl, but this map is really complicated and you can't just do this and expect that to be everything. I think to go 2 docks here and have all this navy before Margougou even spotted it, that's where a lot of his investment went. So I think I think out of fear of the moment, he thought, I have to be patient. But actually, if he brings the fire galleys over right away, he kills all the fish, and then he doesn't even need the second dock. And then he could maybe do a little bit more, right? Clearly didn't have as good control of the fishing eco. Eventually expanded to fish here, but it wasn't right away. Margougou knew what he was doing. All right, ladies and gents, game number 2. Whocl needs this one. Game 1 was not the closest. And as I was just explaining, in this qualifier, we've got 7 maps. And the goal was to have the most, like, diverse... we want the best players in Hidden Cup, right? So we want to have as many different play styles needed to get through, right? So previous game was, like, super hybrid. We obviously have Arabia for standard land. We have Gold Rush, which is a little bit more closed, but somewhat standard lands map. There's Mudflow, which is hybrid. You know, I can go down the list for you. There's Islands, which is water. But this one, this is one that is kind of like a do-it-yourself arena. Now, it doesn't have to be. It is open. But what has happened a lot of the times is players like to push in these deer from the middle and then get some walls down. So if you were to be a player who prefers the closed maps, this would be your choice. And Margougou actually picked this map, which I found interesting. This is Margougou's home map, not Whocl's. But as I said, I think Margougou's expanded his skill set. I think in the past, people would play closed maps against him, and then he would, struggle. But now these days, he's a more complete player. Now over here, we've got a line of trees, which you can potentially chop through. I think we've only had a chop through once, and that was in a series yesterday. It does still take, quite a bit of choppage there, and players typically will realize it. I think if we were to make the trees, say, have like 25 wood or 50 wood, it may actually change the map completely, and then people might go around the sides. But the middle is still so important, right? So important. There's that gold, and it's like it's the easiest way to access your opponent's base. But again, I do not want the choppage to necessarily be a factor as far as how, the balance of the game's playing out in the qualifier, right? We will be making tweaks to some maps for the main event. You know, that we use the qualifier to kind of look at how things play out, both with civs and also with maps, and then make a decision from there. Well, still always conversations behind the scenes, because we've got stats, people. And it's hard to know with the stats, right? Is this because the favorites were winning? Or is this because these civs are broken? Best example, Malay. What is it again? Can someone look it up? I think 92% win rate, but it's like with a lot of games played. And Margougou banned Malay. A lot of people are banning Malay now. So that's pretty wild. I think it was like 13 wins and 1 loss or something. So, sheesh. But yeah, we're going to have 6 maps added to the main event. And yeah, I'm really excited about it. I spent a lot of my night last night testing 2 of the new ones. Still not at a state where I can say much more for you guys. But I'm pumped. That should be a dead vill. That should be a dead vill. Margougou, how's your quick walls? Margougou is building a barracks. That villager's downhill. Margougou has to shoot the boar with the TC and not lose the boar and also not lose this villager to the scout. Whocl knows the quick wall will come and kills the villager. That is a big, big move there for Whocl. And it's just like kind of disappointing for Margougou because it's kind of the simplest of situations, right? You're right next to your base. But he built the barracks from this side, I guess, because he built the house first. And so now you're a villager down. And now your opponent also knows a barracks is on the way. So if you know there's a barracks going up, you have to know there's militia coming. And Whocl going to drop some walls here. But he needs to be careful, because he could end up losing a villager as well if he doesn't get the walls down in time. Here comes the vill. Yep, vill's going to bring in the boar. Militia are on the way. It doesn't take long. I gotta question the lack of urgency from Whocl after killing that villager building the barracks. I'm not sure what he was expecting to happen, but barracks makes militia, and militia kill villagers. And Loom helps keep villagers alive. And neither player has had it here. And 2 villagers go down. Oh, man. Again, you just got to question it, right? Like that. And clearly, maybe Whocl just misreading the situation. But that's a great recovery here from Margougou. But it is something that Whocl could have expected coming. Because he saw the barracks was going up. So now Margougou's through. And we do have the walls here from Whocl. And he shouldn't overtop here. He should be okay. I can't click that tree. I'm anxious for the guy right now. I feel like that tree, with how this game has gone, is going to be chopped through. I just cannot see how much wood is on it. Okay, I'll show you what you can do. Well, it's not a big deal, actually. I was going to say, technically, you could stand in this gap while attacking the palisade, but then there's nothing to stop Whocl from just not chopping that tree. So Whocl's going to go fast castle? Maybe fast castle? And then Margougou's going to wall up massively behind this. This feels more like a feudal age and adapt situation for Margougou. There's no way. There's absolutely no way that he is going to be able to go fast castle on this. Also, gotta appreciate it. What's up, Bullet, in chat? Bullet is... How shall we say this? So he is a mod on the channel, but there are people who are grandfathered in, right? So let's just say at times, people are maybe not quite as... How would you describe yourself, Bullet? Bullet is a little blunt at times, right? But, you know, sometimes people need that. Anyways, Bullet, been around for a long time. Yeah, he can be a little unhinged. That's what he says. Someone said, after those vills go down, how are they 2K plus? And Bullet said to that person, because they are better than you. So, and Bullet, listen, I appreciated it. I really appreciated it. I don't know if they did, but I thought it was funny. So, it is true, though. There are instances where, like, you do see stuff. You have this expectation at a very high level of certain things to happen, right? And this villager loss should have never happened. It should have never happened. I think Whocl knows that as well. And, I mean, this guy's going... Who wanted arena? Look at this eco. 0 farms. Full market eco. He needs 50 food to click up. Oh, this is rough. I think Margougou is a little terrified right now. Because... he sees the market blacksmith, and he's nowhere close to clicking up. So he might be like, how? But this is... Okay, scout goes down. This is rough. You can't... This is just not gonna have much success, is it? This is painful on many levels. But he is up. And he is Bohemians. So if he can mine a lot of gold, he can maybe make something happen. I assume it would be monks in siege. And, well, Margougou knocking on the door. Margougou's going to harass where he can. Behind this, Margougou. Easy breezy, clean eco. And he will seed some farms. And Margougou is always producing vills, always sending army forward. Again, I know Whocl. He could play better than this. It seems like he might be in his own head a little bit. And, yeah, this is... Have you guys ever had a day that's just not your day, and you're so far below your level it's not even funny? Because this to me, it feels like, unfortunately, that's what we have here for Whocl. He's just... And maybe it could be because he lacks confidence. Oh, every day is like that for you guys. Okay, well then... You can relate to maybe Whocl at the moment. Every day. All right, so full monks, right? This could actually be insane. If he can get triple monastery and YOLO monks, let's believe, okay? The best way to get a player who's an aggressive, land map player like Margougou in their own head is to make a bunch of monks. There's one monastery. Let's see the second monastery. Let's go. That's not enough. That's not enough. You need to buy the wood for more. We need 3 to be happy. 3 or we are not satisfied. Maybe he'll get there. He's bought more wood to make a gate. Okay. Monks are on the way. This is fine. This is fine. Margougou's almost through, actually. And Whocl is worried. Margougou behind this is selling all of his resources. He clicks up to Castle Age. Margougou, what does he see here? He sees the walls. He killed a villager. Still no loom, by the way. And now the monks are going to have to go convert archers. Oh, boy. Okay. Okay, converts an archer. Monks are on the way. Now you can get the relics in the middle. You can bring vills to the middle to mine all the gold. Margougou right now does not really have a lot at home. He's going to recoup some of the loss of his stone, it looks like. But he doesn't have a lot of army. And Margougou might actually have some problems here. I also really like how Whocl saved the scout. No, you're converting that one. No, oh, God. Well, okay. Well, he converted the weak one, and it could have been a little bit better. It's hard to notice in the moment. Still going to have monks out. Still getting those Wololo boys ready to go. All right. You wanted arena? We've got it. We've got monks. We've got villagers building a siege workshop on Margougou's face. Margougou has a stable, though. And those scouts could be moving out there to snipe the villagers or the monks because there's still no loom. The thing is, you can't really move around with the scouts on this map. It's all in your face. So I'm not actually sure the scouts will do a ton. Margougou is going to run back into his base. He's terrified. And credit where credit is due. Whocl's got a decent monk mass here. He's starting to move forward. He's starting to add siege. And he's going to build buildings in front of Margougou's stable so Margougou can't come out of them. And this could really snowball. Sometimes, if Lykev isn't it, you need to make your own monks. So Margougou may try and do that. But, Margougou who had a normal type of game here, is kind of being walled in a little bit. And the pressure is on. Now, Lycav upgrades massive here. This is where you would ideally have some Spearmen if you're Whocl. And if there's enough patience from Margougou, I'm trying to think. You might even need to delete this house and run through. I actually love the fact that Whocl is walling in front of his opponent. Because these walls make it difficult for the Lycav to come out. But here we go. You wanted the house down. Now you've got it. Lycav are out. 2 monks down. And this Lycav still able to kill more. Does kill enough. I think Margougou will be very happy with that. But now there's 2 Lycav for the enemy. Actually, 3. This one's trapped. Okay. This is fun. I'm enjoying myself. Margougou is not. This Lycav is not. He's very confused. Should have gone out the front door, not the back door. More monks. It's just one of those games. And Lycav for Margougou going in to kill more monks. But he could lose all of his villagers, and he can lose his monk to the Lycav that were converted. So that's something. The villagers are exposed. The villagers are going down. Lycav for Margougou are going to find more monks. Look at this eco. look. I'm dying. It's killing me. And Margougou's eco isn't that good either. This is winnable. Because you use economy to make units. And if your opponent just converts your units, then why even have economy? Probably a good time to get Loom. I think that's a good decision. Nice decision to get that upgrade here, Whocl. There's another stable back here from Margougou. And Devotion now. Interesting. Okay, so he gets Devotion, so he'll resist conversion a little bit longer. That technology's existence is pretty much because of all the Arabia players that have ever been monk rushed and cried about it. Myself included, by the way. And then we have Devotion coming in here from Whocl. And that will do the same thing, of course. And now we have Atonement for Margougou so he can convert his opponent's monks. We have a TC from Margougou. Lycav from Whocl are over here. And, ooh, he's really been getting converted for some time here. But as Doubt would say, I'm devoted. And, yeah, Devotion still doesn't stop him from that happening. Okay. Rams are loaded up with villagers and archers. Lycav are on the gold. This is crazy, man. Does Whocl have Atonement? I didn't see it get researched. He killed a couple villagers there from Margougou. Oh, he does have it. Okay. He does have it. That answers our question. Margougou and Whocl need to be ready to convert each other's monks. What you can't do, though, like, Margougou's running out, and then Whocl goes to convert, and then the monks will follow in towards the TC fire if the units move back. So it's actually really complicated in Whocl's position right now. Margougou has done a really nice job to stay in this. I actually wouldn't have minded a tower here, just as a distraction. Here we go. Lycav and monks. Lycav and monks. Surely this is going to be good for Margougou. The Lycav that Whocl converted, they all went down, and the monks are all disappearing here. Margougou has a 15 villager lead. He's clearing up most of this push. The Rams won't do anything here. And for as confusing as this looks, it still is pretty clear to me Margougou will take this game. You simply needed to snowball the monks, and you needed to snowball the siege at this point in the game. You can't go on any longer with the way your economy is looking back at home. Wow, if this keeps up, we might actually be able to cast Nikov and Baba Rum from game 1. Dang. Very nice of Margougou to share attention with his French comrade, by stomping Whocl so quickly. More monks for Whocl. Again, back to what I said, if you're a little frustrated, maybe if you're not having your best day, you play on in these scenarios, we can see how bad this is. I'm sure he feels it too. But no one wants to be seen as a quitter. So Margougou is going to make him quit. Margougou will get the Lycav into the back here, and some quick walling will happen. This is to be expected here, but it's just that type of day. There's a hole, and then 2 Lycav loop right back over, knowing the monks would follow, and that's a 1, and that's a 2, and that's a GG call if I've ever seen it. This is a GG call if I've ever seen it. This is a GG call if I've ever seen it. And the GG's called. Margougou up 2-0. The big thing I really think about to just kind of break down how I feel Whocl is playing today based on what I know about him is that moment where he denied a barracks. He knew the barracks would be completed, right? It was at 80%. And then he didn't wall. He did wall, but it was like very casual. So clearly the timings were off in his head and, again, wasn't really able to get the job done. Margougou, now no pressure, right? Now no pressure. He has 3 games that he can potentially win this series with right now, and it's looking really, really good for him. All right, ladies and gents, welcome. So, welcome to Mudflow, a map that I have very much enjoyed. It's picked a lot, it's played a lot, but I do wonder how much the players really, enjoy it, right? Because usually, the cleanest land map players, they really want a game where they kill, let's say they kill 3 vills, they lose 1, they have a slight advantage, they go to Castle Age, it's pretty clean, it's pretty crisp, and that's it. Thing about Mudflow is you are likely to lose villagers. Doesn't matter how good the game goes. You're probably going to lose some villagers. And that can get out of hand fast when you have to move out here to all the berries. And, well, we'll see how things play out. Now, Margougou, pretty smart from him, actually. So there's no deer on this map. So a lot of times players may want to push their deer. And then you also have so much food with your 2 elephants and your fish, where you can just scout with your buffalo. So Margougou found his buffalo early. He's scouting with his buffalo, and he actually went forward to to try and lame, to try and steal resources. But we have the elephant spawning to the back, which I forget if that was a recent change, but that's something that I did because I knew players would simply just try and lame on this map because there's no reason to use their scout all that much for their base compared to other maps. So he tried. Woodline here for Whocl. And then woodline over here for Margougou. Now the terrain in the middle is amphibious terrain. You can dock this. You can make ships on it. But there's no fish. So there's really no big reason to do it. Unless you want to make some ships later on for water control. I don't know if we've seen fire ships. But we did see, we've seen a lot of demos, and then I saw Tato go galleys, actually. So Tato against Sorakuma, he started off normal with, spears and scouts, but he went double dock galleys and was just controlling all the wood in the middle with galleys and scouts. It was really interesting. We've seen some unique plays. And we did see someone mention docking here. Okay, so I was hoping to save this and, really break it down when I talk to Dave, but I think he's watching, and I just can't keep my mouth shut anymore. So I want to talk about that. So Dragonstar docked this with Persians, right? And I spoke to him about it. And, I mean, he was so dejected, right? Because he probably should have won his Mudflow game. And he ended up going down 0-2. One of those games being the Mudflow game, and then it ended up going to the 5th game. He really felt like he could have won that series, so I feel for the guy. But he told me, he's like, T90, I mapped it out. He's like, the amount of wood that you have on these reeds is the perfect amount of wood to go for a dock, 2 fishing ships, 2 houses, and a lumber camp. Let's do the math on that. Okay, so a dock is 150 wood. 2 fishing ships is 150 wood, right? Am I right? Hold on. Shoot, now I'm second guessing myself. How much wood do we have here? We've got 300. So, math, 150, okay, 300. So, how did he get the house? So, I guess what he was talking about was, the way he explained it to me. Oh, and you start with 200 wood. Yeah, of course. Yeah, so he basically was like, you have to use every single wood from all of these trees, but you can get 2 fishing ships in here. You could still build your lumber camp, and then your fishing ships are safe. It was a pretty interesting idea. I'm not sure if it's that much better than playing standard with Persians, but that's the kind of stuff that gets me excited, you know? Yep. until the other guy is waiting at your wood line with the scout and you don't have enough to quick wall. That reminds me of a Viper not having the wood to build a palisade wall to de-aggro the boar at NAC when he was running down the hill. I think it was against Hart. Game 5, Huns against Saracens. He was Huns. He had 100 wood because of Huns. He made a lumber camp. Didn't have any wood for anything else for just like a weird second there. All right, so we'll be scouts. Let's check the scouting for Margougou. Margougou knows about everything pretty much. Does see this berry spot. Knows about this berry spot. If there was a map we have seen so far today, this would be the map that is more Whocl than any of them. Big Arabia guy. Likes to play a lot of standard land maps. Maybe a little bit of a weird build compared to Margougou. I think Margougou's had the cleaner start, but they've essentially done the same thing. I'm curious to see how many villagers people are sending to their woodlines long term. Usually people are doing about 8, which feels right. But there are also instances where people will finish their straggler trees and they've got like 6 vills with nowhere to go. Wonder if you could... Is it weird to have an extra 2 there from like the very start of your lumber camp? I don't know. Okay, good aggression here from Margougou. Margougou is just attacking the villain, backing away. Over here is Whocl. Whocl will find the berries. Whocl squeezing in horse color here. It makes sense with the Chinese. It makes sense with a lot of farms. Whocl going in for a vill kill. Is it starting? Has it begun? Whocl. Has not been a good day for him so far, but gets the vill kill. Good start. Uh-oh, lost his scout. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Quick wall. Nice damage control from him. He needs spearmen here quickly. This barracks position, I hate so much right now. Because it takes so long to get your spearmen over here. Like, Margougou's positioning of his military buildings feels like it's going to be a lot better for him. A nice aggression here from Margougou. Zrad says, it's not Whocl, it's Whocl. You want me to say Whocl? See, I remember him before there was a CL. He was always just Who. Unless I'm confusing him with DJ Who. There was a DJ Who as well. You don't even know the Who's, all right? Sorry if I'm getting it wrong, but this player's been around a really long time. I remember him from back in the day. It's Whocl. I'm pretty sure the CL just stands for Chile. And I should be calling him Who, but it's too late. To make things even better, he changed his name to Dream for the last 18 months. So I was like, oh, he's going for a rebrand. Let's call him Dream. And now he's Whocl again. So. All right. I have a distinct memory of casting DJ Who against, crap, what was his name? We casted the Chilean Cup in 2016? Dave, are you still here? Do you remember this game? It was a Scandinavia game. It was Spanish against Aztecs. None of the people here will probably remember this. Anyways, it was a great time. And yeah, it was DJ who may or may not be the same player. It's been a very, very, very long time. Lots of spears coming forward here. I really like what Margougou has done with the forward spears. That has been a really good tactic. That is something that Sito did, and it worked really well against Licks. We have a dock right now from Whocl. We know what he's going to make out of that. He's going to make a demo. So Margougou has to be careful being around here for too long. And, I mean, Margougou, don't chase him. You know what that dock makes. And it's not transport ships. Well, it is transport ships. Quick wall from Dream. Okay, he's going to lose the villager, unfortunately. And Margougou's going to be able to get out of here. This is very well played from Margougou. Just, it's always good, right? For when you never have to worry about anything at home. There's nothing happening at his base right now. Everything is happening at Who's base. And even though the Vill kills are somewhat similar right now, this all comes down to the amount of control Margougou has. Now, here goes the demo. Here goes the demo. Here goes the demo. Did Margougou notice this? Margougou is about to be on the other end of the biggest feudal age explosion we've seen so far. Margougou! Margougou! Villagers go down, and more can go down too because they're so weak. That is just 14 HP of scouts. Margougou gets rocked by the demo. And Margougou also, still hasn't found many more kills over here. What a great play there. I mean, the previous game, right? We saw a player lose villagers against militia after seeing the barracks going up. I do have to say, when you see the dock, there has to be some level in your brain. There has to be a click of, oh, demos are coming, and just try and get those walls down. But when you're being aggressive, it's very easy to forget about that at times. Now, here's the horrible thing for Who right now. He can't make he cannot make another demo until he takes more gold. And Margougou is on gold, and Margougou is on gold for archers. And Margougou will have archers against the spears, and this is going to be really difficult to take these resources much longer here if you're Whocl. Margougou might have lost those vills. He might have been on the other end of a highlight, but he's still in an amazing position. And even if this tower goes up here, that does not mean that Who's going to be okay, because he still is going to have problems elsewhere in his eco against the archers and against the spearmen. I was actually going to kill most of these archers, but he did also lose quite a bit of spearmen. That could have been worse for him, though. And Margougou's still behind economically, just slightly, though. Res collected, he is 700 ahead. Now, what's this eco look like back here? Love the farming eco. Must have taken his other berries, and I don't even remember where they were, actually. Did he not have... Oh, there's the mill. Okay. I was a little worried there weren't berries for a second. Great stuff. Looking pretty good here for Margougou. Look at the amount on food right now for Whocl. It's this. It's this, and then it's this, and it's just... There's idle time everywhere. All right. Demo number 2. Let's go, people. Demo number 2. He would love a demo in defense right now, I'm sure. That's not going to happen. Margougou sees the weak vills in there. Gets the snipes. Still poking around. There goes the demo. Margougou's scout is attacking it. But you will never demo a bunch of villagers on Margougou's woodline a second time. You hear that? You will never do it for the second time against this guy. He is so good. And beautiful play to pre-wall there. Obviously learned from his mistakes. And did have to sacrifice the scout. But I mean, his eco's looking great. I think it's just the addition of archers that has made life pretty awkward here for Whocl. It's an interesting game, actually. Because you look at the score, you look at the populations. It feels quite close at the moment. So maybe I'm misreading it. But I don't see how easy it's going to be for Margougou, or sorry, for Whocl to defend this hill. And that's where I'm concerned. It isn't the biggest army, though. Scouts are kind of weak. There's also an army here. Margougou's going to dock himself, though, just to make sure he's okay. Okay, here we go. More villagers fighting. There's been a lot of villagers fighting for Whocl for some time. Moves forward here, and as we expected, Margougou has enough to defend. We have Fire Galley now for Margougou and for Whocl, and another demo. And I think Margougou knows to stay off the swamp. Crazy. Still has to micro this. And, oh, the demo connected! Oh, no! Oh, no, the demo connected Margougou! So, the spearmen, they're on attack stance, so they just went into attack. That's a huge demo. And there's just so many things happening here. And, sorry, just catching up to live time. There's another ship over here, but that is a fire galley. Margougou should defend from that. Looks like Margougou will click Castle Age faster here. It still feels like, with 19 farms, that his food eco is what's going to win him this game. But we do have more farming here for Whocl. We do have archers for Whocl. We do have navy for Whocl. We do have scouts for Whocl. And this is a map where a lot of different things can happen. So there is a chance that maybe Margougou takes more losses here as he's on his way to Castle Age. The fire galley does go down there. I think Whocl added the galley to sit behind the wood line, but now the fire is going to push that away. Margougou going to lose Vils. Loses another villager. 7-3 eco KD here for Whocl. A much better game from him. It's been a messy one, right? For both sides, but really nice job. You see the runner micro there. Nice defense. Another dock. How much navy are we going to see? If you make enough feudal age demos, you can be killing knights. You can be killing the crossbows. Finally, a market for Whocl, which he really badly needs. Man, Margougou is vulnerable. If archers were here right now, Margougou would have no answer. Demo goes in. Demo gets close. Demo goes down, but does not get the kill. And Margougou will pay close attention to that wood line now, I'm sure. He does not want to overchop. Not against this guy. Archers from Margougou will loop around. Whocl still has not clicked up, guys. Let's see, the difference in the food collected. Just massive difference there. It's crazy. And here, the scouts finally went down. And here, the archer from Margougou will go down. These archers from Margougou still looping around. Margougou losing his fires right now. Whocl probably feeling some pressure now. I think he'll be happy with his performance. He's put up a little bit of a better fight, but he'll want to win. If he could win this one, it would make this series very interesting because it's looked pretty stompy so far. These archers are going to find some value. Should kill one more Vil. Not really attacking at the moment, which indicates he's looking elsewhere. There is where he was looking. He just won that fight. Kills another Vil from Margougou. Margougou, in Castle Age on Knights, is to make that happen. Over here, he tried to get kills with his archers, but a tower was forced down there from Boo. Knights run into a demo there, but still, Knights are Knights, where Knights can run through that. And Knights are going to come up to this hill, which is going to prompt Whocl to make spears. Total res collected, higher for Margougou. Vil count, though, pretty close. And so, I think Whocl can afford to lose one or two more units. One or two more Vils and still be okay. The Navy control is really interesting, but now Knights can really help there. And Margougou is going to TC the other side of that wood line. Here the Knights are underneath the tower doing work. Beautiful play from Margougou. This TC should go up. The Knight's actually going to protect it. And Margougou's found some great kills here. Some great control. Does he know about that TC? He doesn't, but he knows there's a knight there. If he patrolled, this could be a problem. Oh my god! One. And... no, go back to the TC. Might as well deny the TC. 2. TC denied. I love it. You gotta love it. Unless you're Margougou. And maybe Whocl can hold. I mean, he's gonna be in Castle Age here soon. Could maybe make some camels against these knights. He's losing so much. These villagers have been told to go do this. And they're like, no. I'm not doing it. You're not paying me enough for that. And so the bosses have had to find other people. And brought them from the other areas of the economy to finish this TC. There we go. Another demo, though. Can you imagine? That's a really nice job there from Margougou. And a really smart move. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Not again. Not a freaking again. Whocl continues to stay in this game because of the demos. Oh, my goodness, dude. Keep it up. Keep it up. Oh, it's crazy. I mean, when I saw this TC, I was thinking, why here? I was thinking maybe you run over here. Your opponent hasn't been over here for a long time. Dang. Whocl's actually out of gold here. But he is going to TC this gold. And he still has his wood here. Now, Margougou has the War Galley upgrade and has upgraded fires. So Margougou's like, you want to play islands, I'll play islands here. Otherwise, I think Margougou's played great. Like, if he wasn't on the other end of these demos, it's game over. But now it's a somewhat even game for him. And he also has to travel from this hill to go get some gold. Knights won't be able to break his opponent here because there's camels out now. So this game will go later, folks. 65 population for both. Salutes in chat, please, for the underdog, for making some stuff happen here. Because, again, you eliminate the demos, this game would have been over. But he's used the map very nicely. We should have known the second that Margougou deleted walls and started to leave this area, it could have been a problem. Not sure it's going to be too comfortable to attack through here. And also, remember, if you're down here now, Margougou will have the ships. So Margougou can bring some fires. Fires with knights should still be pretty good. Margougou's collected 2,500 more resources. He wants to go into that third round. He will be up against a player who's very similar to him, who has a very similar storyline to him in Mihai. Two players who would have been near the top of that list of that next generation, the younger talents. I think they're both around the same age, both 21. Both have really improved the last 2 years. This water control is starting to work wonders here for Margougou. These fire ships are so strong. And he goes to TC number 3 now. He's really expanding his eco. Looks like he did kill a villager back here. And then lost a camel. It was a camel raid or something? I don't know. But Whocl can't really afford the War Galley upgrade right now. But I think it's worth going for it, and I think you might need more docks. I love how the water plays out on this map. So sometimes you won't see it at all. But once one player does it, the other player's like, oh, yeah. And then it just ramps up from there. I also think that if you show your opponent one demo, they will change the way they move out across this map entirely, right? Because no one wants to move out with army into a demo shot. So I think it really lives in your opponent's head. I think it's a smart move to just have one dock and the potential for demos, and then people will maybe not run through the middle. But, I mean, here we just have, like, freaking fire galleys all the time. It's pretty crazy. One relic for both players. Whocl expanding over here, looking to get this relic. Margougou actually snagged it. That saves the monk, because the monk was told after we get that relic, we go home. And now the monk is just going home. Would have run into the knights. Good attacks. Good damage here from Margougou. He does end up killing that monk anyways. And the fires are still making progress here. A demo, though, from Whocl gets a big shot. This is just so messy. It's the same theme as before. Like, yeah, he's able to defend. But it is Margougou who's the aggressor here. And conversion there. The defense is there. It's not bad. It's really not. The repairs on this ship. Trying to keep himself in it. Adding another fire ship. That's good work. And he's staying alive here. This has been the most competitive game of the series, really. The first two were not close. But, guys, I think we are going to have a big one soon. Because we've yet to see a demo, a Castle Age demo hit villagers. And I'm looking at this, and I'm waiting. Margougou, more raids on the back. Yet again. If this dock goes down, if there is a gap, I mean, there is still a gap over here. This could be incredible. That knight goes in. Knight gets converted. Margougou's still running around. Like, he's everywhere. He's just everywhere. And here we go. Margougou wants to go to the third round, and Whocl ruins the moment. Just straight up ruins the moment. It was going to be a demo. It was going to be a castle drop. It was going to be this big finish to the cast. And Whocl says, well, I realize I'm dead. And wishes him good luck next round and calls it. Margougou gets the 3-0 victory. This was an expected result today. I do think Whocl, if you see him again, will be able to bring a slightly better show. But Margougou was super consistent. You don't demo Margougou a 5th time, is what I should have said when I said that earlier. I think Whocl killed more with demos in that game than maybe in his entire career. 91 kills, 81 deaths there for Margougou. And again, res collected was the big thing. His economy was so good. And apart from the demos, he was always applying aggression. He was able to just afford more, it felt like. Better balance from him, more food, more gold. GG's Margougou.